Hello and welcome into LMU Community TV News. I'm Ashley Hurley. Thank you for joining us. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation is continuing to ask for the public's help in locating a man that was added to the Tennessee Top 10 Most Wanted list as a suspected child rapist. Rick James Brock of New Tazewell is wanted on 4 counts of rape of a child and 4 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm. 51-year-old Brock has brown hair and brown eyes. He is 5'10" and weighs around 206 pounds. He has a tattoo of a lion on his right arm. The Claiborne County man has a violent criminal history and should be considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information on Rick Brock is urged to call the TBI at 1-800-TBI-FIND or 1-800-824-3463. Now, there is a $1,000 reward being offered for any information that will lead to his arrest. New Tazewell Police Captain Wayne Mulhaney is facing a charge of domestic assault against his wife. The incident allegedly occurred on December 28th. Mulhaney was taken into custody by Lieutenant Stephen Hurley of the Claiborne County Sheriff's Office on January 4th. In his report, Hurley states he arrived at the charge through an investigation that consisted of photographs, physical evidence at the scene, and statements given by the victim. Alleged assaults took place across the house from the bedroom to the kitchen and living room while standing near the front door of the home. Mulhaney is currently out of jail on a $1,000 bond. As part of his bail agreement, Mulhaney is prohibited from using or possessing firearms or any other deadly weapons. He is suspended indefinitely from duty without pay. Well, state road crews finished the paving on the State Route 33 bridge just in time for it to open to travelers on Friday. All factors worked together, including weather, to permit the bridge to open. The new bridge crosses the Norris Lake near Sharps Chapel. Now, a spokesperson with the Tennessee Department of Transportation said the old bridge averages nearly 10,000 vehicles per day. Construction on the new bridge began in 2009, but that work was temporarily halted at Norris Lake following a death of a worker at the Henley Bridge in Knoxville. The 2-lane truss bridge opened in 1936 and continued to have poor drainage issues and claimed several side view mirrors when large vehicles would meet while traveling across the bridge. Weight restrictions also posed several problems. When the construction began, it was estimated that the new bridge would be carrying passengers and the old bridge would be dismantled by June 30th of 2012. At that estimated date, into 19 months of the project, less than 30% of that project was completed. Following several problematic situations, a new company was brought in to complete the project, and now the community will be able to travel across the newly built and paved bridge. The dismantling of the former bridge is expected to begin over the next few months, and that work is not expected to have any kind of impact on the traveling on the new bridge. Officers are currently working to determine how a door leading into Manor House and Shared Blessings was opened on Friday. The business is only open Monday through Thursday, but on Friday, a passerby noticed a back garage door left completely open with no vehicles in the parking lot. The Tazewell Police Department was called to the scene to investigate, and it was determined that the garage door leading into the back of the building had been pried open. They are now asking for any information that could help them determine who was there to open that door. If you happen to see a vehicle in the area between 11 o'clock that morning through 3 o'clock that afternoon, please contact 911 or Manor House and Shared Blessings at 423-626-8765. They are also asking that if you notice any vehicles there not during operating hours, to please call in and report them. Grammy nominations have been announced, and a local favorite received several phone calls, text messages, and visits after her name was announced that morning. Dale Ann Bradley is nominated in the Bluegrass Album of the Year category for her album Pocket Full of Keys. It is her first for Pine Castle since her return to the label earlier this year. Following a very successful year for Bradley, who released Pocket Full of Keys in June, her first single, Till I Hear It From You, was well received by Bluegrass Radio, charting in at number 4 on the Bluegrass Unlimited National Bluegrass Survey. Pocket Full of Keys charted in at number 3. Bradley continues to tour in the United States, as well as expanding her music to audiences in France, Germany, and Canada. In 2016, she will tour with her band, as well as play special shows with new Pinecastle supergroup, Sister Sadie. Coming up after the break, students are back here on campus with a lot of activities coming up, and to find out what is happening, keep it right here on LMU Community TV News.
I come from a big family. I'm the oldest of 6. To me, being the first person to go to college, it's like setting a standard, you know? My little brother is 8 years old now. I challenge his curiosity. I challenge him to dream. I have to paint a picture for him that he can look up to and live up to and possibly be better than. My name is Jaquez, and I am your dividend.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Dare you. I dare you to change the world. Yeah, you. That college education.
I dare you to be somebody important.
Be a teacher or a reality TV star.
Dare you to stand up here.
To call the shots.
To be a role model.
An inspiration. An innovator.
To be a teacher.
Think you can change my life?
Make me excited about science like you.
Have a career that really means something?
Then do it.
I dare you.
Hey, look, it's those guys. Are you good to drive?
I'm fine.
How many did you have?
I should be fine.
You should be.
Go and step out of the vehicle for me.
See ya, buddy. Good luck.
So turns out, buzz driving and drunk driving, they're the same thing, and it costs around $10,000. So not worth it.
Lincoln Memorial University hosted its annual FAFSA Frenzy and Recruitment Fair on Saturday, January 9th at the LMU Cedar Bluff Extended Learning Site in Knoxville. To tell us more about the FAFSA Frenzy and what it consists of, we spoke with admissions counselor Sean Long.
What they do is they open it up on January 1st, so at this point you can apply for the FAFSA. It's good to do it as early as humanly possible, especially in Tennessee. We actually had the highest FAFSA completion rate in the entire United States last year, so the money that's there and available can go, and it is on a first come, first served basis. So definitely filling it out as quickly as possible is important, but they will take that FAFSA all the way through June. So that would be the latest to fill that out.
The FAFSA Frenzy is a yearly event, but according to several changes within the federal requirements for college, next year's FAFSA Frenzy could look just a little bit different.
Every year so far. Next year it will look a little bit different because the FAFSA, they're actually going to change the format of it, and so every year it's been January 1st, that's when they open it up. Next year will actually be in October, and so not exactly sure what that's going to entail, what that's going to look like. It's one of those things the government's just said, hey, we're changing this, and they're kind of rolling that out over the course of the year, so it will look a little bit different next year, and we'll probably have a different date if we do that event. In the meantime, though, we still will have our financial aid counselors that they go out in the local high schools and still helping out. So even if it's not the same event next year, there's still help that'll be available to individuals.
Now please remember that the FAFSA form is used at colleges, universities, and technical schools nationwide. Students should complete their FAFSA forms just as close to January 1st as possible to get the maximum aid available, even if you have not selected a college. Monday, January 11th marked the beginning of the 2016 semester for students all across Lincoln Memorial University. Campus is buzzing with all programs from undergraduate all the way to graduate. And schools across the tri-state area also welcomed their teachers, faculty, staff, and students back to classes last week after the much-needed holiday break. We do want to wish everyone the best of luck in the 2016 semester. And another big event that is taking place on campus in 2016 to kick off the semester is the LMU Pool's grand opening. Student Services is inviting everyone to stop by and check out the pool as soon as possible. A certified pool operator is keeping the water clean and clear with a comfortable 82 degrees for swimming, exercising, and playing in the pool. On Friday, January 15th, Student Services will be hosting Water Olympics for the students. Residential students can sign up for a team through their RDs or RAs. Commuter students can sign up by emailing Adrena Rylick at adrenarylick@lmunet.edu. They are hoping to make a big splash with this event and encourage everyone to attend to kick off the 2016 semester. The Cumberland Gap National Park is in the process of updating the park fire management plan. The current plan does not allow use of unplanned ignitions for resource benefits in the appropriate zones in the park. An environmental assessment will be prepared along with the fire management plan to analyze the effects of the fire management activities on the human environment and provide an opportunity for public input in accordance with the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969. There will be two alternatives evaluated in the assessment: no action alternative or proposed action. During this scoping period before the preparation of the environmental assessment, the park is seeking the public's thoughts concerning this update of the fire management plan. Now, comments can be submitted online at parkplannings.nps.gov/CUGA. Comments should be submitted by February 3rd of this year, and it is anticipated that the draft environmental assessment will be available for the public to review in the early summer. A public meeting will be held during the public review period to receive additional comments. Questions concerning the project can be addressed to the superintendent at the park or by connecting with Chief Ranger Gene Westlow at 606-246-1054. The Pine Mountain State Resort Park will host a winter photography weekend January 15th through January 17th. The weekend will feature a digital photography workshop and contest. 3 classes will be included: amateur, intermediate, and accomplished. 4 competition categories for each class will include beginner photography session and a critique session. Evening programs by guest professional Ken Jenkins, a nationally known natural history photographer, writer, lecturer, and outdoor adventurer will be held. Early bird registration is $30 and $40 at the door. For more information, you can call 606-337-3066. Now be sure you stay with us after the break because Adam Haley has all your sports update for you for this week, followed by your entertainment report.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
College. It can seem a million miles away. But what if you could get help with your tuition expenses? Get help filling out all those applications and finding a major that fits. All of a sudden, the impossible becomes possible. Visit collegefortn.org today. College. You can get there from here.
I'm Jenny Garth, and as a mother of 3, I know kids worry about a lot of things. Getting enough food to eat shouldn't be one of them. But here in America, that is a real worry for 1 in 5 children. This is unacceptable, and something Feeding America is working to solve. Through a nationwide network of food banks, Feeding America serves virtually every community in the United States, including yours. See how you can help your community. Visit feedingamerica.org. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're Feeding America.
Welcome back. The LMU basketball teams were in action this past weekend as they hosted Queens University to the Tex Turner Arena. The LMU women got the day started against a Royals team who was still looking for their first conference win of the season. The Lady Railsplitters got off to a cold start while Queens was hitting their shots to a point of an 18-10 lead late in the first quarter. The second quarter would be the turning point of the game as LMU started the quarter on a 7-0 run to take the lead and held Queens to only 6 points during that time to take the halftime lead 35-27. The Lady Railsplitters continued their run in the third quarter, outscoring the Royals by 7 in the quarter and increasing their lead to as many as 18. The two teams combined for 55 points in the fourth, but the Royals never got any closer than 12 and LMU went on to win 80-66. Ross Mathis led LMU in scoring with 11 points. LMU out-rebounded Queens in the game 36-20, and with the win, the ladies moved to 8-5 overall and 5-3 in conference play. The men's game on paper going in had the makings of a classic as 8th-ranked and undefeated Queens University came to town to face the 19th-ranked Railsplitters. The start of the game was slow for the first 5 minutes, and then LMU went on a 17-5 run for the next 6 minutes that gave the Railsplitters a 13-point lead. The Royals would not go away, but yet battled back to within 3 before Jalen Steele hit a 3 at the end of the first half to lead at the break 41-35. The second half started out like the first half, slow. The two teams combined for 13 points through the first 5 minutes. Then the Royals kept it close for the first 8 minutes of the half until LMU started to pull away, increasing the lead to as many as 17 with 7 minutes left to go. A Sean Morgan jumper started a 12-6 run that brought the Royals as close as 9, but Queens would get no closer, and LMU handed the Royals their first loss of the season, 86-76. Luquan Choice and Jalen Steele led LMU in scoring with 19 points apiece, and with the win, LMU improved to 12-2 overall and is now 8-0 in conference play. Now, the Railsplitters and Lady Railsplitters will be back in action this Wednesday night when they'll play host to Anderson. The women's game will tip off at 6 p.m. with the men's game to tip at 8 p.m. LMU Sports Network coverage will start at 5:40 p.m. on 91.3 FM and LMU Community TV. The men's game will also be on EYMT, which is WYMT's secondary channel. That coverage will start at 8 p.m. The NFL playoffs started this past weekend with the wild card round, and for the road teams, it was a good weekend. In the AFC, the Kansas City Chiefs defeated the Houston Texans 30-0 for their first playoff win since 1994. KC quarterback Alex Smith was 17 of 22 for 190 yards and a touchdown in the win. The Chiefs will move on to face the New England Patriots on Saturday. The Pittsburgh Steelers defeated the Cincinnati Bengals 18-16. Pittsburgh kicker Chris Boswell hit a 35-yard field goal at the end of the game after 2 personal foul penalties set up the Steelers for the game-winning kick. The Steelers will now move on to face the Denver Broncos on Sunday. In the NFC, the Seattle Seahawks held on to beat Minnesota 10-9 after Vikings kicker Blair Walsh missed a 27-yard field goal to advance the Seahawks to the next round to face the Carolina Panthers. The story of the game, however, was the weather, as it was the third coldest game in NFL history, with the temperature staying below 0 for most of the game. The final game of the weekend saw the Green Bay Packers come back from 11 down to defeat the Washington Redskins 35-18. Green Bay quarterback Aaron Rodgers was 21 of 36, passing for 210 yards and 2 touchdowns. The Packers will now move on to face the Arizona Cardinals. Now that's all for sports, but stay tuned after the break as Joseph Lewis will let us know if there's any hope for someone to knock off Star Wars from the top spot when he brings you the box office report when we return here on LMU Community TV News.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Hello, I'm Joseph Lewis, bringing you all the latest information in the world of movies. Tops at the box office this weekend were led for the 4th week in a row by Star Wars: The Force Awakens, adding $41 million onto its astounding $812 million domestic gross. This past week, The Force Awakens overtook Avatar's $760 million to become the United States' highest-grossing film ever, and even when the numbers are adjusted for inflation, The Force Awakens still lands in the all-time top 20. Worldwide, the film has totaled more than $1.7 billion, now placing within the all-time top 3 behind James Cameron's 1-2 punch of Avatar and Titanic. Having only just opened in China this weekend, The Force Awakens can be expected to easily top Titanic's $2.1 billion, though Avatar's $2.7 billion gross may exceed even the extensive grasp of Star Wars. For more information on the film's continuing box office success, be sure to visit www.boxofficemojo.com. Following at number 2 by a surprisingly close margin was The Revenant in its first week as a wide release, taking an even $38 million in the wake of much critical hype and awards season buzz. Though it has a long way to go toward recouping its sizable $135 million budget, its recent Golden Globe wins, its brewing Oscar campaign, and its star power in the form of Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy basically guarantees the film's long-term success. And rounding out the top 3 was Daddy's Home, the Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg starring comedy that, despite largely negative critical reception, took an additional $15 million, making for a now $116 million domestic gross. With an A-list cast and a PG-13 rating, Daddy's Home is proving to be a much bigger wintertime hit than anticipated. Meanwhile, the major new release of the weekend, the supernatural horror film The Forest, took a decent $13 million in its opening weekend despite iffy audience response and an all-points lashing from critics. However, with a low $10 million budget, the film can already be marked as a financial success thanks to its appealing genre and the involvement of its lead actress, Game of Thrones fan favorite Natalie Dormer. Other smaller-scale successes like the Tina Fey and Amy Poehler starring comedy Sisters and the all-star financial crisis satire The Big Short are on the downswing, unexpectedly joined by Quentin Tarantino's bloodthirsty western The Hateful Eight, now 3 weeks into its release with numbers barely inching toward its $44 million budget. Though the film being overshadowed by Star Wars is no surprise, the fact that the director's previous 2 films, Inglourious Basterds and Django Unchained, quickly topped the $100 million mark within their first few weeks makes The Hateful Eight's box office performance disappointing by comparison. As previously alluded to, Sunday's Golden Globe wins will likely guarantee extra business for The Revenant throughout the mostly uneventful month of January, alongside other recipients including Joy, Room, and Steve Jobs. That's all for today in the world of movies. I'm Joseph Lewis.
I never felt all that special. But in the wake of an earthquake, we can all do something. When donating goods, it's hard to know what's needed. So now it's my turn to help. Aid workers can spend me locally, where I can help save lives. Someone is doing better because of me. Together, we made that happen.
Ma.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who once took care of you.
Pretty much a good day for me would be people leaving their hands off of me. I'm always called names. Everywhere that I go, there's always someone calling me names, calling me gay. I've been choked, thrown up against a wall, punched. Nobody's ever tried to help me.
That is going to do it for us for this week's LMU Community TV News.
I'm Adam Haley. Thank you for joining us today. We'll see you again on Thursday.
For everyone here at LMU Community TV News, I'm Ashley Hurley. Have a great week.